Are you ready to take your dog's training to the next level? Introducing the Canine Initiative. This 6-month high-level advanced education program is limited to only 20 people. Act fast to secure your spot. Whether you're a new dog owner, have a puppy or adolescent dog, or are struggling with behavioral issues, my program can provide expert guidance and support. But that's not all. By joining the Canine Initiative, you'll also receive a customized training regimen specifically tailored to your dog's needs, monthly group Zoom calls with me and other members for progress updates and support, and 1 year of free access to my private coaching group. Your dog will benefit from improved behavior, increased confidence, better health, and enhanced communication. And with direct access to me via Facebook message, you'll have an experienced dog trainer in your back pocket for 6 months. Don't miss out on this amazing opportunity to empower yourself and your furry friend. Join the Canine Initiative starting April 1st, 2023. To find out more, click on the link in the show notes.
Time again for Talking Dogs with Ian Grant, owner of Vermont Dog Boarding and Behavior, VFW Drive Hyde Park. It's the show that delves into the training, socializing, behavior, nutrition, and wellness of your dog. And brought to you by Guy's Farm and Yard, with locations in Morrisville, Montpelier, Williston, and St. Albans. And we're back with the trainer, Ian Grant. And this week, it's the incredible edible egg. Remember that commercial?
I do. It's funny. As soon as you said it, I'm like, I've heard that before.
Yeah. So, but officially, it's the power of an egg. So why is it so important to be a part of a dog's regiment, a food regiment?
I think when we look at this and we think of our dog's nutrition, first of all, nutrition has come so far for our dogs in the past, 20 years, let alone 30 or 40 years from the Alpo days and the gravy train.
My goodness. Can you imagine we actually fed our dogs that stuff back then?
I would hate to see the ingredients list of those
I would
types
not want to look at
foods.
those. Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so when it comes to an egg here, we obviously for humans, we know that there can be a lot of benefits to an egg. And as I researched this, I found out that, of course, a raw egg for us isn't as nutritional for us as a cooked egg, just so we can get the impurities out of it as far as we are concerned. Obviously, dogs' stomachs and their systems are built much differently than ours, so they can handle the raw meats, the raw eggs, and whatnot. But when we look at an egg as a whole, especially from the yolk to the whites to one thing I learned is that if you crack an egg open, there's like this little coating inside the egg. It's kind of this plasticky type of material. I can't remember what the name of it is. But they said that material, just that little bit, packs a huge punch for dogs as far as nutritional value.
So it's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
Oh.
So when we look at it, of course, we know that the eggs provide a lot of protein. There's a lot of vitamins and minerals. Now, when we talk about eggs, this isn't something that we're just going to feed our dogs eggs every day for every meal.
Exactly.
I want to clarify that we're not doing this. And if you have any questions about, feeding eggs to your dogs, you can always consult with your veterinarian to see what they think. But so in my research, this isn't something that we have to provide them all the time. We can do this a few times a week if we want to, but we are going to feed them every part of the egg possible, including the shell.
Including the shell?
Because
Really?
There's a lot of calcium in the shell. Yes.
I would have a difficult time doing that.
I know. I've done it a few times myself, especially since I, kind of researched this a little bit. So I crack the egg right in their dish, and then I take the shell and I crunch it up in my hands. And yes, it's a little messy.
Yeah. So you kind of cut it up. You don't leave it in like 3 or 4 pieces.
Right. Because I don't know how many dogs are going to grab a hold of that.
Yeah.
Because they're just not used to it either.
Yeah.
They may not know what to do with it. And then there's some dogs that's just going to go down the hatch and they're not even going to think twice about it.
Right.
Yeah. But for me, I just wanted to crumble it up as best I could and then, take something and stir everything around with it. However, there's one little caveat to this, and I don't expect anybody to do this, but with the research that I found, the best way to give an egg to your dog is poached.
Poached?
Yes.
I was going to say over easy.
Yeah.
With some toast.
Right. Yeah. Full on breakfast.
Yeah.
But again, raw is totally fine. But if you want to take the vitamins, the nutrients, all that kind of stuff to the next level, then you want to give them a poached egg because it just takes out the slight impurities that they may not use in their body and just be able to provide them a little bit more. But at the end of the day, a raw egg is going to be and should be just fine for them.
So with a poached egg, of course, you don't put the hollandaise sauce on it.
I would hold back from that. You may have a bigger problem.
Yeah, it's not Eggs Benedict. It's just a poached egg. I don't even make a poached egg for myself, and then now I have to do it for my dog.
Which is an art form, from what I understand, too.
Well, I think it is, yeah. And pretty soon the dogs are going to say, nah, it's not quite poached enough.
Yes.
It's going to start getting picky about it.
Yeah.
Now, as far as how often, I know we talked in the past about other different foods, like pumpkin, for example. It's good to feed them pumpkin every so often. Is it in that kind of realm of how often you should feed it to your dog?
Yeah, I don't think this is something that you have to do every day, every other day. Again, consult with your vet about this. They're probably going to have a little bit more knowledge as it pertains to this as I do. But I don't think it's going to hurt anything if you try a couple of times a week. And then, obviously, if your dog reacts well to it, their stomach isn't upset, you're not seeing any messes out in the yard that you don't normally see, then I think you're going to be okay. But again, consult your vet, because they're just going to give us all the information. But an egg is it's quite powerful. There's a lot of really good foods for dogs out there besides just the dry dog food.
So it's really true. It is the incredible edible egg.
That it is.
For your dogs. There you go. Back with our question from the doggy bag in just a moment here on Talking Dogs.
Roaming is a Los Angeles-based premium lifestyle brand that is motivated by nature. Roaming features high-quality, earth-friendly dog products made from renewable and natural materials like their bio-based and 100% compostable biodegradable dog poop bags. These bags really are awesome. I've been using their bags for a few months now, and I love the durability, the way they feel, and the fact that they are good for the earth. They also have a special discount for our listeners. Use code VermontDog to get 20% off your first purchase, including 20% off the first 3 orders if you sign up for one of their poop bag subscriptions. They also have some beautiful leather leashes made right here in the USA. You can check them out at roaming.com. That's ROMNG.com. Are you looking for gear that can keep up with your active and adventurous dog? Look no further than Synology Warehouse. They specialize in equipping the modern canine with distinguished, overbuilt gear that's built to last from home to horizon. From premium collars and leashes to rugged outdoor gear, they have everything you need to keep your dog comfortable and safe no matter where your adventures take you. I've been using their Biothane slip leashes for months now, and I love them. They have a nice feel, a good grip, and they clean very easily. Use coupon code Vermont to receive 10% off your purchase. Head over to Synology Warehouse on Etsy today and give your dog the gear they deserve. Synology Warehouse, overbuilt gear that's built to last from home to horizon.
Back to Talking Dogs with Ian Grant from Vermont Dog Boarding and Behavior, VFW Drive Hyde Park. To find out more about his facility and programs, and even check in on his podcasts, which includes this very program, you can go to VermontDogBoardingAndBehavior.com. The question this morning, Ian, is what is the best way for my dog to gain confidence around strangers? That is, whether they're coming into your house or you're seeing them on the bike path or something like that. So
Yeah.
Is there's kind of a formula to this, I'm anticipating.
I like the way your brain works. You're already thinking and going through all these shows. And
Well, after 6 years, I hope something's worn off.
yeah. You know more than some trainers. Let's just put it that way.
Oh, okay. That's good.
In this type of situation, the best way for a dog, in my opinion, to get confidence is for those strangers to not move towards that dog. Because anytime you have a dog that's a little unsure of a stranger, of a person, and that person moves towards the dog, you are really just forcing them into making a decision. That decision could be we've heard of the fight or flight mechanism. So flight is they're going to move away. However, you brought up a great point, because if it's in the house, the dog can move away. It's not going to be on leash. It can go hide in another room. But if we're out in public and the dog's on leash, it can only get so far away. And if the person keeps proceeding closer to them, now we might have a bigger problem, because the dog feels trapped, that it can't go anywhere. And now there might be the fight mechanism that kicks in, and then they start moving forward. So in my experience, the person that is the stranger, if they are the ones that can just ignore the behavior and ignore the dog and let that unconfident dog move closer when it's ready, that's what it comes down to. If you give that dog time and space, it will move forward. And if it can go and sniff that stranger on its own accord and figure out, oh, everything's good, nothing bad happened to me, that's the moment where those dogs start to gain confidence. And then we just need repetitions of it.
Yeah. Now, if you know this stranger, if it happens to be a friend of yours or a family member who's coming to the house, or even if it's somebody on the bike path, you almost kind of have to instruct them too as well on how to come to the dog, because folks who do not have dogs, the first thing they want to do is get right up into the dog's face. So you almost have to kind of warn them as well, right?
I've got a trainer friend that says you have to advocate and educate for your dog. That's really true. In that situation, you have to advocate for your dog, meaning instructing your friend that's coming over, look, my dog's, I'm trying to build, her confidence. So I just ignore her. She's going to sniff you. She's fine. She's not going to hurt you. We have to give her time because I want her confidence to grow. And when you start to see that confidence grow, it's pretty cool because they start to come out of their shell. It's quite rewarding.
Yeah, and they become very sociable with people too, and it's another step forward in the dog's life too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. It all works together.
Yeah. So, but I always know that there's some people who don't have dogs. They just like to go at them. So, not go at them, but be
Move
over
forward.
exuberant. Yeah. So you have to let them know too. If you have a question for Ian, you can email him directly to info@VermontDogBoardingAndBehavior.com. Well, next week we'll be talking about recall and relationship, which means, in a nutshell,
a lot of dog owners want recall with their dogs, meaning they are able to call them to them, but the relationship isn't as strong as it could be. So these kind of tie in with one another.
Yeah. We all have to get along.
Yes, we do.
On Talking Dogs with Ian Grant, brought to you by Guy's Farm and Yard with locations in Morrisville, Montpelier, Williston, and St. Albans. And for the trainer Ian Grant, I'm Roland LaJoy, and we are Talking Dogs.